Just a quick warning before starting this video. Today's video does use strobe lighting. You will see it throughout this video. I'll be sharing clips of the footage I got whilst at the concert, and it does contain strobe lighting. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I recently went to Manchester to see the one, the only Miss Kylie Minogue for her Tension tour. She did actually perform at the Manchester AO Arena for 2 nights, but I ended up attending on the second night, which was on Tuesday, May 20th, 2025, with my mum. Now, we're both pretty big Kylie fans, so we were very excited to see her on this tour. So for today's video, I thought that I would talk a bit about the tour, maybe do a bit of a review. So with all that being said, let's get right into it. So the first thing I suppose I should mention is where were we sat for this tour? We were actually in block 115, row F, seats 2 and 3. Now these are a side view of the stage in the lower tiered seating area. Now these seats were fabulous. We had an amazing view, and I would definitely recommend those seats to you if you ever go to Manchester AO Arena for an event. Now, Kylie did have a support act, which was DJ Jodie Harsh. They did a half an hour DJ set, which was full of well-known 90s club hits and also 90s inspired songs. I really enjoyed it, but as usual with support acts, it was not going to be everyone's cup of tea. You could see some people were really getting into it, and some people were just sort of sat there like, nope, this ain't for me kind of thing. But yeah, Jodie Harsh came on at about 7:30, finished at 8, and then Kylie herself came on stage at 8:30 and finished her show at around 10:30 at night. Now, for some weird reason, I did read a lot of bad reviews about this tour. I read a lot of articles online that were sort of slamming the Tension tour a little bit. And if I'm going to be honest, I don't understand why. A lot of people apparently were saying that they were disappointed with the tour because the show looked cheap and the costumes weren't as good as what they were for her previous tours. So I just want to quickly say that from my personal experience actually being there watching the Manchester show, it was a fantastic experience, and I think the reason why some people maybe were a little bit disappointed with this tour was because they were expecting the elaborate showgirl outfits of Kylie's older shows. And this tour, it does have a very different look and feel to any other tour that she has done. But I think it's also important to mention that Kylie has progressed from the showgirl era of her career. If it's one thing that Kylie can do, it's reinvent herself, her music, her style, whether it's the 80s inspired album Disco that she released in 2020 or her country inspired album Golden back in 2018. Kylie can reinvent herself, and she's always reinvented herself. She's always sort of changed up her sound a little bit over the years, you know. Kylie is still, in my opinion, a fantastic performer. She was on stage for 2 hours and did not stop once. It was full on for 2 solid hours. Bearing in mind, she's like 55, 56, 57 years old now at the time of making this video, doing this tour, and she still puts on an absolutely brilliant show. She still has such a strong stage presence, and she just knows how to entertain the crowd. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that for some reason I did read a lot of negative press about this tour, and I honestly have no idea why, because I think it was brilliant. It's odd that because, you know, whilst touring in the UK, a lot of fans seemed very happy with the show and gave like pretty good reviews for it. The articles I read that were more negative were actually from other parts of the world. So I'm assuming that, you know, over the time that the tour has been going on, maybe Kylie and her team have tweaked a few things along the way, changed a few bits and pieces about the tour. I mean, I know that can happen with tours, you know, things get tweaked, things change a little bit over time. So that's probably the case with the Tension tour, but from what I saw, it was a great show. And again, mentioning her age, we all know how ageist the music industry is. And to see a woman 55, 56, 57 years old is absolutely fantastic. Like, good on you, Kylie, good on you. But anyways, I'm going to move on from that now because I've been talking about that way too long. Let's talk about the actual set list for this tour, the juicy gossip. So she opened the show with Lights, Camera, Action, and after that we got In Your Eyes, Get Out of My Way, What Do I Have to Do, Come Into My World, Good As Gone, Spinning Around, and then whilst Kylie was getting changed, you know, a bit of an interlude moment, Taboo was playing. Now, she didn't actually sing Taboo, but I wanted to bring it up because obviously it is still a Kylie song. It was just playing during an interlude whilst Kylie was getting changed, basically, so I still wanted to mention it. Following that, we had On a Night Like This, Last Night I Dreamt I Fell in Love, Better the Devil You Know, Shocked, Things We Do for Love, Dancing, The Locomotion, and then at this point she moves over to her B stage, which is a small stage closer to the back of the arena, and she sang Hold On To Now. She sang a short snippet of Cupid Boy, which was a fan request. She also did Especially For You, which was, I believe, also a fan request. She then went on to sing Where the Wild Roses Grow, Say Something. And then as she was sort of making her way back to the main stage, she did like a mashup of more songs from the disco album. Obviously, I know Say Something is on the disco album, but we got like a lovely mashup of more disco album tracks. So she sang Supernova, Real Groove, Magic, and Where Does the DJ Go? Then we had Confide in Me, Slow, Time Bomb, Edge of Saturday Night, Tension, Can't Get You Out of My Head, All the Lovers, Padam Padam, and to end the show we had, of course, Love at First Sight. So as you can see, she sang a lot of songs spanning from all the different albums throughout her career. I think the set list was a pretty good set list, to be honest. I mean, can you imagine like picking songs for this tour? Like, Kylie and her team definitely had a task on their hands picking the songs out for this show. Kylie's at this point in her career, well, I suppose she has been for a long time now, where she's got a lot of hits under her belt. She's an absolute legend in the music industry. She's done so many albums, and yeah, it must have been really, really difficult picking songs for this tour. It must get harder every time you tour, you know. But anyways, I actually didn't mind the set list. I thought it was a pretty good set list, a good mixture of like the new and the older stuff. It was very nice to see songs from her disco album be sung live and have their moment in the spotlight, because obviously that album was released back in 2020 and we all know what was going on in the world during that time. But anyway, moving on. I am a little bit sad that she didn't sing a few of my personal favourite Kylie songs. Songs like I Believe in You. I was 99.9% sure she would sing I Believe in You, and she didn't, so I was slightly disappointed in that. She didn't sing Step Back in Time. Again, another one of my favourites. No More Rain, Aphrodite. I would have loved to have heard those songs. Something else I want to mention is that I wish she sang the full version of Magic, as I love that song. She unfortunately only sang a little bit because, of course, that was during the mashup of multiple songs from the disco album. So yeah, I was a bit shocked to hear Dancing on the set list. It wasn't a nasty surprise because I do like the song, it's just I didn't expect her to sing it on this particular tour. She was on stage for like 2 hours. So definitely a good length for a show. She definitely put on a performance. She spoke to the crowd a lot, took fan requests for songs, handed out roses to fans. She danced. She just looked like she was having so much fun. And it was really great to see her having just as much fun as we were, or it looked like she was anyways, you know. Her dancers were brilliant, her band was brilliant, the atmosphere was electric, especially during, you know, your crowd favourites, your massive hits like Better the Devil You Know, Love at First Sight, All the Lovers. Hearing All the Lovers live is just a moment, okay? It's always a high point of a Kylie show because it's a song that the crowd loves. It's a song that everyone really just comes together for. Couples were hugging each other, looking lovingly into each other's eyes. They were kissing. It was just a really lovely moment, and everyone was just living in the moment, having fun, being in love, and it was just a lovely moment. Like, All the Lovers is one of my personal favourite Kylie songs, and every time she sings it live, it just has such a magical vibe to it, and I just love it. I will mention the merchandise quickly. I personally didn't buy anything, but I did have a look. So the merchandise as a whole, majority of it looked good. I didn't like a couple of the merch items. There was a couple of t-shirts that I thought looked a little bit bland, a little bit simple. But there were a few t-shirts also that I really, really liked. The keyring was cute. The majority of it was good, because I did hear people complaining about the merch. I thought it was okay, to be quite honest. There were a couple of bits that were maybe a bit bland, like I say, but majority of it, I didn't mind. It was good. Of course, you could buy Kylie wines at the event. There were stalls set up selling Kylie wines, and they were also playing adverts for Kylie wines on the TV screens too, which I thought was a nice little added touch, a little added extra. And also something that I very quickly wanted to mention that I thought was very, very cool was it was announced by Kylie herself during her show that she is the female artist who has currently had the most shows at the AO Manchester Arena. So that was a really nice little thing as well, you know. It was something to celebrate. So with all that being said, it's safe to say that me and my mum had a lovely time at the Tension Tour. I want to thank you for watching. I don't think I've missed anything out. I kind of feel like I could talk for a bit longer, but at the same time, I feel like I don't have anything extra to add, so I would just be waffling at this point, you know. But anyways, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, click on that subscribe button. Have you seen the Tension Tour? Have you ever seen Kylie live? Let me know in the comment section down below. Me and my mum, we've seen Kylie a few times over the years, and it's always a great experience. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye everyone.